Saya kami ni jom ni kau ni jom di bawah ni condition ni dekat dengan tiga bawah.
Does the color of the sky mean anything special to you? It does to me. A hell of a lot. Does the color of the sky mean anything special to you? It does to me. A hell of a lot. When I close my eyes, the sky in my dreams is a deep, dark blue. Pilots have been in my family for 4 generations. Flying's in my DNA. Even so, my grandpa didn't want me joining the Air Force. He lost faith in the Ocean Air Defense the day my dad died in battle.
You know, Abby, I wish you could see what it's like up there. Cruising above the clouds, the dark blue of the stratosphere. Nothing beats being at the controls and seeing it from the cockpit. Look here.
Gramps tossed a magazine over to me with an article. Unmanned fighters are no longer a dream, it read. Pilots taking to the skies will soon be a distant memory.
I don't see anything good coming from that.
Know what? Lying smack dab in the middle of the desert west of here, there's a bunch of planes from the last war. Some of them have been mothballed, but most of them are just rusted piles of junk waiting to be scrapped. Gramps was really good friends with the super there, so he got to take whatever he wanted, no questions asked. That's how we got the parts to build our own plane. Now, when I say we, I mean me, my grandpa, and his old war buddies. I cut my teeth working with those geezers. They taught me their skills, and some dirty jokes. But with their aging eyeballs and whatnot, I ended up having to do most of the work myself. I was at the airstrip doing some flight training when I saw it. A prototype drone. It wasn't much of a plane, more of a trash can with wings.
Laugh at it all you want, kid. But technology's always changing. If you don't keep up with it, it'll leave your ass behind.
It took 6 years and 8 months to get that engine running. And it took us another 1.5 years after that to finally get the balance of the airframe just right. I'd gone from being a little girl to, well, still a girl, just older. But now, I was all alone. Wherever the souls of my Gramps and his pals are flying, I hope it's peaceful. Then, finally, I was ready to break the sound barrier. All this plane could do was take off, accelerate, and fly up. Straight up, through the clouds, higher into the sky. Dark blue. I could almost touch it. Then I saw Osia's fighters. They were tailing something. A drone. They were going full out chasing that thing. Doing 30 Gs at least. Damn, I've never seen anything move that fast. It had a rose painted on it. The Erusian emblem. But that country's a whole continent away from here.
Right. You should have put in my IFS to see this piece of junk. Should have built a deterrent too.
As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on, I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Usea, has been seized by the Erusian Army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent, has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Usian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Breaking news from ENN. Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Usea was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from 2 continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Usians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Usea, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone. The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
Princess Rosa Cassette Delise of the Kingdom of Erusia. Today, Osean airstrikes have shattered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school I went to. It is heartbreaking.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship, too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusia, on the opposite side of the Yuzian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats, and the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out, and set the dogs on me.
Here he comes. Mihai's looking worse. Thank God he has his granddaughters here to help him out. They're sisters, 15 and 10. Engaging the enemy in combat so we could use his physiological data to improve the drones had always taken a toll on Mihai's body. But today, he was really showing his age. The drones we based on his data were being taken down at a faster rate now, compared to when the war began. When Mihai found that out, he insisted on flying to the front lines to see it for himself. Sometimes he could be so stubborn. His age wasn't the only thing affecting his health. Over the years, flying at high altitudes for prolonged stretches of time had ravaged and poisoned his body. But he was a man of grit. Today, after 28 years, he saw combat again. If his flight suit still wasn't good enough to protect him, I can't imagine how many Gs he hit today during the battle. As a pilot, he exceeds all our expectations. It's going to take a bit more tweaking before our drones can match his skill.
How penal is this penal unit, you ask? This place is a shithole. If you took the stink of all the corruption in the world, then corralled it all in one place, that would give you a pretty good idea of what the air smells like around here. We got all kinds of critters, too. Everything from flea-ridden guards, rabid dogs, and a mechanic doing a stretch for life. We got those. And some pilots who got their wings clipped, too. One's a great pilot, but a lousy thief. One's a gambler with no luck. And one's an anarchist with no balls. Their job here was to rev the engines on the fake runways. The idea was for Erusia's spy satellite to pick up the heat sig. Even though there weren't any real fighters here, it looked like it on their infrared. I bet you're wondering, if Erusia lost the war, how come they still have a spy satellite? 'Cause someone over there was smart enough to train a bunch of computer nerds to hack into half of Osia's satellites. That's how come. Every now and again, I'd try to bust out. And every single time, those damn dogs would drag me right back. When I was in my cell, I'd hear this voice coming from the guards room. It was the Erusian princess rallying her people on the Erusian national broadcast. All us prisoners had become big fans of hers. You want to hear something funny? The guards were big fans too. I swear to God, every time she was on the air, they'd turn up the volume on the radio and sit there listening. I could see how someone like her could win the hearts and minds of soldiers and workers alike. When the princess said something, you could tell she meant every word. Lately, she'd been having more fun with her speeches, and that made her seem even more charming. You could say her charm was like a virus. Whenever she'd point out stuff that was wrong with Osea, the prisoners in here went nuts. Hell, if anyone knew how messed up Osea was, it was the prisoners. They'd shout, "Burn Osea down." No way am I just gonna sit here and rot away in this hellhole. Dark blue. Instead of building fake-ass planes to trick Erusea, I'm gonna build one that'll really take off. You can count on that. Bad news for us here at the prison. The enemy fell for our decoy base. With all the fake planes and trucks we had out, it must have looked to them like the Osean Air Force was about to go on the attack. Day after day after day after day, they bombed us. Osea didn't give a damn. We weren't soldiers to them, so go ahead. Bomb us. In their eyes, we were expendable. Worth less than the fake planes in the bunkers. No biggie. While I made fake planes, they had me put together some working ones. Then, some genius at HQ decided we should send it up, so the base looked legit. Thankfully, we had people to crew them. It didn't matter what we were locked up here for anymore. Top brass needed pilots, and criminals were all they had. A crook, a gambler, an anarchist. Just your typical lowlifes. They threw each one of them in a cockpit and sent them up to intercept the enemy's planes. But in the end, it was all just for show. So, up they went, day after day after day. Today they tossed someone new into the mix. Wonder what he did to get sent here. My dad died flying for the Osean Air Force. When your allies are surrounded, one of the most dangerous missions is giving them cover to retreat. Whoever signed up for that was a real hero. But even more dangerous than that was being the one who had to cover the rear guard's retreat. That was my dad's job, and one time, he called it off. Said it was too late for him. Said anyone else would have done the same. I found that out from a war buddy of his when he came to tell me how my dad died. The next time a retreat happened, my dad volunteered to be in the rear guard. Dumbass. He died all right. No one came to help. The news nearly broke me. Of all the ways to get killed, that's gotta be the most pathetic one ever. Am I right? There's a rumor going around about another inmate. A guy they brought here a little while ago. Get this, talk in the cell block says he was sent here because he killed Harling, the president of Osea during the last war, remember? He's the one that sent my dad on that suicide mission. He's the reason I had to go live with my grandpa, and why me and Gramps started building a supersonic jet. He's the reason I ended up here. Maybe I should give that guy a thank you note for killing him. Nah. God, I hate the smell of this place. It's all fake and lies and bullshit. It reeks.
It's on up and that came up. Remember the nigga that killed the end of the fight. Now if you what the nick. Armed and dangerous. Ain't too many can bang with us. Straight out, we no angel dust. Label us notorious. Thug ass nigga that let a bust. It's strange us. Y'all niggas be scrambling, gambling. Up in restaurant mandolins and mandolins. We just in here trying to win, trying not to sin. I always lots of gin, so much smoke, oxygen. Steadily counting Benjamins, nigga, you shit too. If you knew what this game I do to you. Been in this shit since 92, nigga. Look at no bullshit I've been through, nigga. So called beef with you, know who, nigga. Fuck off you, stop. Fuck you, nigga. Fuck off you, female stars or two.
Mihai's second sortie was designed to calculate how his physiology changed under the stress of combat. My job was to compare his performance as a pilot now to when he was younger and understand how his skills evolved. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure I wanted to know the answers anymore. For a man his age, Mihai's body was unbelievably resilient, remarkably flexible. His reflexes were sharp as they ever were. Still, after all those years of flying in the outer layers of the atmosphere, even someone as strong as Mihai wasn't immune to the effects of the strain. The human body is fragile. It was not meant to handle the excessive amounts of radiation that constantly bombarded the stratosphere. For Mihai's second sortie, we used a flight suit that was still untested. He seemed fine on takeoff, but by the time he landed back at the base, it was clearly a mess. He got caught in a surprise dogfight with an especially stubborn enemy. It took a while for Mihai to bring him down. The suit was ineffective. According to the data, it wouldn't let him fly to his full potential. A new flight suit was made to my exact specifications. When it finally arrived, Mihai's granddaughters glared at me with their disapproval. They blamed me for the pain their grandfather had to keep enduring. But Mihai remained stoic. He wasn't the type of man who cared about anything that happened here on the ground. I wasn't worried about it. I was confident the new suit would protect him thoroughly so that he could maneuver his plane any way he wanted. The moment he took off in his new flight suit, I realized what I had failed to before. Right after takeoff, as the wheels retracted, the plane suddenly arced up. It accelerated so quickly. I had never seen a plane move like that before. Mihai hit the high G's multiple times before disappearing into the blue. The support team couldn't even keep up. And then I knew. I understood why he never seemed to care about restoring his stolen country back to its former glory, and why he didn't seem to care about anything that happened here on the ground. Of course, Mihai's kingdom was the sky.
God damn, I bought everything. There's just one pack for $3. Who's in there? An F4E Phantom 2. Three skins. Su-37. F14D. Or F50. F-14 Delta and F-14 Charlie. It's only $3. I don't need to know. I'm not even gonna play this fucking. 35, the Y-23. 22. FB-22. I forgot what specific differences. Are you still a Harrier? Let me see the booty. I don't want to select it. Oh, okay, there's probably just difference in weaponry, and based upon these big ass cones, either higher output or something dealing with the radar. Tracking, some shit. Higher range, maybe. Hey, not so important. 16, no. 15, yeah, I don't know. Oh, this is that fancy one. What the additional deltas. So it can move like a Russian plane. And even China's new fucking most advanced plane, it has those, so it can move like a Russian plane, like it can move more like a bird or a mosquito in the sky. F-14 Alpha, Top Gun, Maverick. No, who was my bread and butter? Somebody with like a shitload of missiles. 5th gen fighter. This is Russian. It's gotta be. Oh. Maybe. Maybe it's that. 4 missiles. They all look the same, except for that one. Oh, airborne hand. Ground. That's beautiful. Air ground targets. 12. Okay, works for me. Air and surface. Interference. Weather systems. Laser. I think that's what I've selected. That's nice. That's future. That's what's being worked on right now. Anti-surface and anti-air high-spec laser capable of firing continuously. Its speed means that, if fired accurately, it cannot be evaded. Also, you're fucked. Why am I using this one? UAV, so okay, that's fine too. It's like a guarantee either way. Yep, the only one worth. Solo, one slower. What this cost? If they're vectoring, then we'll make some nice ass maneuvers. I don't remember. If it is vector, it doesn't look like it's 360 vector. Three air intakes, so it's probably moving pretty swell. Canards. It's not a delta, I forgot what it's called. Reverse delta, fuck it, I'll call it. 6 missiles, which works. Oh wow, attack to the front of an aircraft. Neutralizing fire, so what, deflects onto missiles? Attached to the front of the aircraft that can be continuously fired. So I guess, yeah, someone's got regular heat sinkers coming at you. You can distract them. Hey, doesn't sound like very... 6 targets, yeah, nothing special. It's all air to air. Air to ground equal. Beautiful. All air. Air, but ground is slightly a little bit more, and it's still higher than the other. So the ADF-X 01. I like the fact this fucker's got 12 missile lockdown, I think it is. Yeah, up to 12. Oh no, his shit is... No, that's on that side, mobility side. He's got the best mobility so far. So far, he's the best in destructive range. I'll take my chances with great mobility. Fuck that. You can't catch me, you can't hit me. Once I reload, you're done. Oh no, he's got even better mobility and speed. I don't care about your attack strength. We'll get it done. Yeah, he's the best with speed. F is second speed. Okay, no. The F1, not the F11. Oh, the F11 is better all around though. Yeah, I better fuck with that one. So 11 Foxtrot and 44. Oh, and the 27. Yeah. Oh yeah, the 27 gets almost the highest reload speed. Oh fuck yeah. 27. And he's got the greatest mobility. Greatest mobility. Nearly the greatest speed, but it's only a centimeter off. And he's got the highest reload speed. Range, whatever, not that. If he's going that fast, and I can reload and chase a motherfucker and blow his ass away. Because there's not going to be that many faster than me and who can move like me. So yeah, it won't take long. I don't need to shoot from long ass range. I can shoot from mid to close range. Strike missile that can lock onto airborne and ground targets up to 4 can be launched in succession. When combined with standard missiles, they can be used for a concentrated attack against a single target or a dispersed attack against many. Those fuckers with a lot of armor. Bye bye. Long range homing guide bombs that can detonate when overlocked target. I don't care about bombing. But it looks like I have it selected. A weapon providing electronic support and causing interference for a period of time. It lowers the effect of enemy missiles across whatever defense for airborne and ground targets. Or lock them all onto one. That's nice. So that would be, because I don't think I really worry about the bombing. Long range homing glide bombs that detonate when over target. I guess when I'm on one of those type of missions, but before I go into battle, I probably should practice because it's been some time. Yeah, here's the competition with the F-22 that barely lost. I know, I was there. F-35 Charlie, F-22 Alpha, X-02. X-ray. X-ray to Sierra. Su-57. Always glad to see you. Su-30. Su-47. Su-35. Su-37. Su-34. The 35, the 22, and the Su-50 SAR. 23. I guess, yeah, the F-22 just be over the 35 because it's much faster, and I think it is much more armed. Whereas the 35, it can take air and ground. More reconnaissance than a fucking attack plane. Here, remember the buttons. It might be one of those games where if it's at the wrong time of the day, you ain't gonna get to play. Let's disable the hot join. Oh. Disable the special weapons. Oh, he's a coward. He or she, it's a fucking video game. I think that's one of the reasons I stopped playing, because sometimes you be in a game and people just start talking crazy, and that's like, dude, how are you mad at me for using the weapons that the developers developed for a video game, for this video game? It's like, how are you mad at players for using that in which is available to us? It's like, we didn't go and create our own cheat or code and manipulate you. We're using the tools in which have been given to us. Now, if you are one of those players who refuses to go to the PlayStation Store and buy additional add-ons that you even see in the game, you may play against, but you don't get to earn it. And then they throw a special pack out there like, ah, you want to play with that plane, you don't get to earn it in the game. We'll sell it to you. Boom. And you get mad at people because they have it. It's like if someone likes something and they can afford it, probably they're going to pay for it if they cannot earn it. Fucking humans, they're so strange. It's just like there was a flood a long time ago. And it would be nice if it were to return. An error occurred while trying to, wow. Typically people just join, it's online. You just press go. One more error, and that's the end of this game. And as long as it's taking it, showing predominance in the error nations. Danke, danke schön, vielen Dank. Ciao und tschüss. Some food. Just doing what fun. Eat. Fish, whatever. Okay.